loud. So tonight we are going to work on support tickets, putting in a support ticket where you have to go and how to word it and what you need, all the different categories. Some people haven't even gone to that area because it's an unknown. And when it's an unknown for people, people don't like to go in their back office and kind of peruse around. So I would love for you to take the time to go look. Just by clicking on something, you're not going to hurt anything. And I think that's sometimes what people worry about. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go backwards because I'm at ATP 123, but I'm going to go to home. So I'm going to show you where you can go and where to at least find it here. Like I said, I just got done going into the back office and taking snippets of every single ticket and what the options are. So everything on ATP as of 15, 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago is 100% what's in your back office. How you get there is you're going to go to My Business and you're going to click on it. And then you're going to go to business building, I think in business building. Yes. And down here at the bottom, it says business documents. And then there's the PDF of submitting a support ticket. So I'm going to do that again in case people are taking notes. You're at the home screen on ATP 123. You go to your business and then you click on the business building button and then scroll to the bottom and you click on submitting a service ticket. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can increase the size of this a little bit so it's easier for us to see. Okay. All right, so when you get to your back office, it looks like this. This is your home screen. So this is what it looks like when you get into your dashboard. And at the very bottom, if you've never seen it, is My Support Center. So we're going to also discuss activating your Healy device too, because that's something that's come up for people. But right now, looking at support tickets, when you click on My Support Center, then what comes up is it kind of takes you to a new place. And with the sale now, everything has been really glitchy. So if it takes you a couple of times to get in here, or if it won't let you in and it says login, I want you to go to a different server. If you're on an Apple or if you're on a Mac and you're running Firefox or Safari, try getting into Mozilla. If you're on a PC and you're on Chrome, try to get into Microsoft Edge. It seems like those have a little bit less activity and you're able to maneuver around your back office a lot easier. But when you click on support ticket, what it will bring up when it does is it'll bring up a screen that allows you to see where it's really blurry. I don't know why it's blurry here tonight, but I'll go ahead and change that. Submit a new case is what the ticket will say. Submit a new case, or what the green button will say. Submit a new case. This person has already submitted several that have been closed. So submit a new case. And then the next screen that shows up is this. And this is what a blank screen looks like when you submit a new support ticket. This is what comes up. The first thing you have to do is you have to choose a topic. Okay, so we're going to do that right here. The topics are, I'm going to go down, I'll go down the list. That my account is the first one in the topics. So when you click on topics, it actually has a pull down, and I guess I didn't put that one in here. I'll get it in here tonight. But the first one that comes up is my account. So if you're needing something changed, your email, your address was wrong, your name was spelled wrong. I don't think they're changing the usernames yet. Hopefully when we get our back office, they'll have more accessibility to do that. If your email was put in wrong, you can do that in other places, but if you want to submit a support ticket, you can. And so here at my account, and then you can choose all the different things that, let me get into here and get people. Let me get people in here real quick. Okay, so I guess I've got everybody in there. Okay, so account deactivation, that would be if you just want to, I don't want Healy anymore. I don't want to do this. You can go ahead and deactivate an account, or like I have an account that's sitting there. She has 2 of them and I have not done this yet, but I could go in and I could deactivate the one that she's not using. Or she could do that, but this is where I would go to do that. Account transfer. So if you have somebody that, if you have an account that you set up to get a free unit at one point and now you want to either sell or give that space to another person, then this is where you would click that. Wrong placement in the back office, that happens. You've put them on the left instead of the right, even though it says once you click place partner, you can't do it change. You could go in and ask if you can do that here. I wouldn't wait. If that happens, you want to make sure you do that really quick. Login data not correct, login not possible. That has happened. That's been a kind of a glitch recently too, with people not being able to get in. They have to change their password. They get a new password and they still can't get in. So that has been happening. Again, we have a lot of activity on this website right now with the sale. So we have to be give them a little bit of grace. Membership fee. If you have a question on that you got charged and you shouldn't have, or you need to do it, or whatever the case might be. The newsletter subscribe or unsubscribe. Some people have tried to go to that link that Rick Fleshman gave very early on and have not been able to subscribe. This is where you could do this. Set up a partner site. So I'm not exactly sure what would come under this, because if you need to set up a partner site, you can set it up in your back office, but there may be questions. Master database change would be something like your username, business documents, those type of things that might need to be changed, or a change of status. Now you're married and you need to change your name, okay, or something like that. That could be other things too. All right, so that's my account. My commissions, again, you're going to click on that topic. So when you click up here, and I'm so sorry I don't have it in here, when you click here, it'll bring a drop-down menu of all the things we're going over. It'll bring up my account at the top, my commissions is next, and so on all the way down. So once you've selected that, then here's your secondary choice. So here's the commissions, bonus payment, commission statement, commissions incorrectly deposited, commission rates, if you feel like the point value is different, tax incorrectly calculated. That's interesting that that's under commission. I guess that would be tax on a thing. I was thinking tax, like sales tax when you sell it. That would be under my product or my orders. Here is my feedback, which I think is very interesting. And I love how they have now changed the characters to 500 characters. So you can't go on and on and on and on and on about your problem, because they won't read it, or they will, but it'll just take longer to get to your desired result. What they want is bullet points. I want to know what you need and how to access your information and what result or resolution you desire. And so those are my feedback. The next one is my orders. Again, there's going to be a lot with this, because there's going to be a change of address, which we now can do in our back office, but we can do it here. Order not visible. So if you ordered and your credit card was charged, but it's not showing up in your back office, where is it? Did it get applied? Whatever, you can do that here. Delivery missing, faulty, didn't get it, promotion code. Sometimes that happened with the promotion code before. It's not happening now because we don't need one with this sale, which is really nice. Bill correction, reimbursement, sales tax. Revocation. So revocation would be, I want to kill this order. I don't want this order to come out. Payment method does not work. Custom matters other. Anytime you can't find anything in these drop downs, just put other, and in the subject you're going to put, what you need. Okay. Next one is my organization. So again, if you put somebody under somebody that they didn't belong there, you can go in here and see if you can get it changed. Okay, so those are those. My products, cancel a subscription, defective clip. That's happening a lot with people right now, is the clips are breaking. It's not a super sturdy device. It's a little plastic device. What I have found is if the clip breaks, but you can still put the pin in and put the little lanyard clip on it, and the clip just broke, you can come in here and you can put defective clip in your serial number along with it, and then you can ask for a replacement clip. If you've yanked on it hard enough that the plastic around where the little pin goes has broken, if you still have all the pieces, you can go to a hobby store. You have to go to a hobby store though. You can't just go to Walmart, or you have to go to a hobby store where they have that. It's almost like Gorilla Glue for plastics. It's not called Gorilla Glue, but it's like that. I've fixed many like a fax machine where the button broke, and it just, it lasted for another 3 years. So that glue is amazing. But you have to go to a specialty store to find it. So if you still have all the pieces, the little piece of plastic that may have come off, with the clip. But we've had that happen. I have one of our loaner units that doesn't have a clip or a lanyard now because it just got yanked off of somebody's collar, or they tried to open it up to place it on something and it just, it broke. So that one just gets put in a little baggie and it gets carried in the person's bra or pocket or whatever. And you can still do that. There's workarounds. But if you've kind of damaged that whole top, there really isn't anything they can do. They can't send a new casing. It's user damage. So you can't say it falls under warranty because it's not their fault. It's yours, unfortunately. But there's workarounds. You can find ways to, put it in a little satchel or whatever. So you can get creative. If you can't get creative, ask a friend. I know you've got a creative friend out there. Okay, so watch isn't working. Reset the master key, even though we can do that now. Even in the blue dot, we can do that. Medical health cloud question, problem during the initial setup. So a lot of different, they're really trying to expand and drive what your issue is to the right person. And that's really what all this is about, is to just pick something and randomly put something in. It may end up on somebody's desk or in their queue of questions they have to answer that day, or service tickets they have to deal with. That's really not their area, and they may or may not get it forwarded to the right person. So that's why it's really important that we go in here and look. Go in here before you need to put in a service ticket, so you can kind of find out what's here. Promotions, the fast start. Let's say you didn't get your fast start. So that was one of the ones on the website that I just showed you. That was my mom's, that she didn't get her upgrade. So we had to put in a ticket that that she was due an upgrade from a Healy Holistic Health Plus to a Resonance. So what I did was I put my promotions and I went into her back office, because not mine, I went into her back office, my promotions, my fast start. And then I put in her username. And then in the subject, I put, didn't receive my fast start upgrade. That's what I put. And then down here, I'll show you the format that they want. But I put in her name, her username, her email, her phone. So all of her contact information, her sponsor, which is me. So she has all that information in there. And then down below the issue, I did not receive my fast start upgrade. I signed up in May 20th, whenever that was. And during my fast start, sold a Healy Health 2 username, a Healy Holistic Health to this name, a Resonance to this name, and then resolution. I just type out resolution and put, please upgrade my account to include my Resonance upgrade. And within 3 days, it was done. So that's how, they just want it really cut and cleared. If we would have put in, okay, I'm going to give you an example of what I've seen. Hi, my name is Sherry Knapp. My username is, this is all in paragraph form. My username is such and such. And I joined Healy back in May of da-da-da-da-da. And I purchased a da-da-da-da-da. And during the fast start time, and this is all just written out in paragraph form. I sold a Healy to this person, and I sold a Healy to this person. I sold a Healy to this person, putting their names, not their usernames. And I would like to know where my upgrade is, and could you please do that? Okay, that was all in like one massive paragraph, and I'm sure there was more in there because it was very wordy, but they would have had to go in and henpeck all of the information out of that service ticket. So after we get done here, I'm gonna take you to what one should look like, and then you can take a screenshot of it. But that's what you would do if you haven't gotten your fast start. And some people still haven't gotten their fast start from way back when, even though they've said we're updated. Some people still haven't gotten their upgrades or their free units. So if that's you, then this is, we can talk about the specifics of what you need to put in there. My tools, if there's an issue with my academy, I know for a while it was only in German. I don't know if that's still there because I haven't been in there in the last week or so. Actually, it's been more than a month that I've been in there. Training documents, instructions incorrect. So again, just tools. Okay, so that you find in the business building. Now let me reduce this down, or it's going to be, there we go. Okay, so that is here under your business, and then scrolling to the bottom, business doc, submitting a service ticket. Okay. Before I go to my next screen, is there anybody on this call that has a question about any of these, anything specific that we just saw? Because then I'll go to a template that shows you what to do. Is there anybody that has any questions? Okay. So let's do a new share. Let's go to this one. Okay. So this is, let me zoom this up a little bit too. Okay. All right, so this is just a sample of what you might put in there. So go back to what we just looked at. I chose my products. Now, if you can't find anything in the products list, if you can't find anything there, just choose my Healy. If it's just a basic question. This one happened to be wrong serial number and DNSC credit requested. So they had attached, in this one had attached a watch, I think it was a watch to the wrong serial number Healy. And so she wanted credit on the months that she had purchased the bundle for the watch. And then she also wanted the watch to be now associated with her proper Healy. Okay, hang on, let me make sure I've got everybody in here. Okay, so what we did, because there was a couple of things here, was I just did my products and my Healy, because it's really not just about the watch, but it's about two different things. But if they can fix the Healy portion, if they can fix her account with the Healy and know that the subscription for that, or the serial number for that Healy is then associated with the DNC bundle, then they'll see where the issue was. So we did my products, my Healy, and then again, put the username in for whoever it is. Now this is an important part, is the serial number. So you're going to take whatever Healy it is you're talking about, or the watch, whatever that is. If you clicked watch up here, it would have that as well. Then you put the serial number in there. And then you're going to try to make as concise as possible in the subject line what it is you need. What is your end result? What, this was the wrong serial number and DNSC credit requested. We couldn't put a whole lot more in here because she's got two things that she was trying to deal with. But whatever your issue might be, you want to be really just short and sweet. You just want to go, oh, this will, easy to handle. And then in the description, this is what I want you to just kind of take a photo of or write down. They want your name. They want your username. And they want your email and your phone. Now, this is the email associated with Healy, the username associated with Healy, preferably your name that is in your profile. So if you go by Bill, but you're really William, and William is in your profile, put William instead of Bill. Make everything as, as concise as possible, so they don't have a whole lot of hunting around to do when they get in your back office and they go, well, this guy says it's Bill, but this says William. Is it? Or yeah. So just be really precise, as precise as you can. Name, username, email that you have on file with Healy, your phone number, and who your sponsor is. And you would want to do your sponsor's username if possible. You could put both in here, but again, we only have 500 characters. So we want to make sure we have enough, but you could put your sponsor name / username if you wanted to do that. Okay, so then if there is an order number associated with what you're dealing with, then you're going to go into my shop, and I don't have that listed here, but you're going to go into my shop, and under my shop, you'll have some subheadings. One of them is my orders. You'll click on orders and it'll bring up everything that you've ordered. And so then you'll be able to take the order number. While we're here, let me see if I can just do that really quick. Okay, so I've been in this for a while, but let me see if I can, I'm in her back office. I'm just going to click on it and we're going to go here, see if it'll let me. God bless you. So here's the order number. So this was her first purchase, but here's where that order number is. Let me see if I can go back to her back office. There we go. So here, see where it says shop, my shop down here? I'm going to click that, and then there's the subheadings. So you've got my orders, subscriptions, addresses, and payment methods. If I click on my orders, and if it allows you to go there, remember it's kind of glitchy right now. There it is. So that's her Holistic Health Plus that she ordered. Okay, so that's where you find your order number. Now take that information and let's go back to my Word document. And that's what you're going to plug in here. Her Fast Start order applied to that order number. Okay, if you've already put in another ticket and you're resubmitting a ticket for the same thing, or you've submitted a ticket that is associated with another issue. Let's just take this one for example. There's two issues going on here. There's a wrong serial number. The DNSC bundle is associated with the wrong Healy serial number. Okay, so there's two things they want to have happen. They want to make sure that the bundle is there, but then she also wants a credit for the months that she paid that she couldn't use her DNSC bundle, right? Okay, so let's say that she had put in a ticket just for the serial number first, to just say, hey, I have a watch bundle and I have a watch that is associated with the wrong serial number. Can you switch it so that it's with the right serial number? Okay, let's say that she put that ticket in, and then she decided after the fact, you know what, I really want credit for the 5 months that I've been paying on that. I'm going to put a new ticket in. Okay, now she's going to put in a new ticket, but she's also going to reference this ticket. Okay, because they are associated. I put in a ticket to have my DNSC watch bundle correctly applied to the right serial number Healy. I would also like a credit on that. Now we put them together in this one, but that's how I want you to think about if you have a ticket out there where there's another ticket that needs to be associated or mentioned, and that's where you would put that here. I have, you could put a ticket number, previous ticket number, previously closed ticket number, whatever you want to put where you say, yeah, I did it before, or we've been, you know, once you're in the system and they respond to you, you're going to be responding off of the same ticket number, and you're going to be responding back and forth with that person, whoever that agent is that's helping you. But if you have not been responded to yet and you're referencing another ticket, that's where you would do this. Okay, so then you want to do, what is the issue? The serial number on my device is not the serial number you have on file. And the resolution, please correct my serial number listed above. And then the second issue, unable to use the watch bundle because wrong Healy serial number on file. Resolution, please correct my account. Oh, and I do remember this one. The serial number on the box was not the serial number on her Healy. So when she went to buy the DNSC bundle, she's looking at the serial number on her Healy itself. So she's looking at the serial number on her Healy, but on the box, that serial number is right there. Well, this is the one that they scan at the shipping center. So when you go, when they get ready to ship your package, they just run a scan over this one. Well, there have been times where the Healy that's inside the box is not the same serial number. So that's happened a couple of times. So what she did was she bought the watch bundle. Bye, honey. She bought the watch bundle associated with this serial number, but because what they scan at the Healy home office and the shipping center is that one, guess what? The watch bundle got associated with this serial number, which is someone else's Healy. So what happened in them putting everything together, and I know that part of this happened because remember they had to take out the ear clips. The ear clips were in here for the United States, and they had to unwrap everything and take out the ear clips and then repackage everything and re-shrink wrap everything. So there were occasions where 2 boxes got flip-flopped. So that has happened. So I always check when I get my Healy. Any Healys I have, I look at the back and I look at the box and I make sure that they are right. Okay, but that's what happened in this particular one. So not only did they have the wrong serial number for her Healy, they had the one on the box, but then they attached her watch to that other serial number. So again, see how all of this can be really construed, and it's just really important that we give them the best precise information that we possibly can coming from us, so they're not weeding through a paragraph of garbly goop trying to figure out what do I do with this. So if you can think about it in this format, your name, your username, your email, your phone, your sponsor and or your sponsor's username, preferably your sponsor's username, and then any ticket numbers, any serial numbers that are affected. I mean, here's the serial number. I changed it for this one because it's not AABBBCC, but you put the right serial number that you want addressed, then you put all your stuff down below. Now, if there's something like Fast Start's going to ask you for a serial number. If it's required, it's going to have this box here. If you need to reference it, you can certainly reference it down here. My Healy serial number, blah, 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 even if it's not up here. But usually, I mean, all the tickets I've seen are pretty good. All the drop-down menus are pretty good. If there's something that requires a serial number, it's already there. Okay, now that we've gotten to this portion, is there anybody that has questions on this type of format? Wow. No questions. Okay, so take a screenshot of this. This is just kind of the format. I can't tell you how many emails I have sent back literally with a screenshot like this. This is what they need. This is what they need it to look like. And if we're sending it to the right person, guess what? It's super easy. Most of the fixes on their end are really easy. It's a flip of a switch. They just enter new information and click save. I mean, it's so easy on their end. But if they have to wade through all of your information or your grievances, and a lot of times service tickets have that in it, I'm so disappointed in the service. And it's just like that service person can't help you in that way. That yes, they may be able to pass that along, but probably when you're trying to get a serial number changed is probably not the time to, it's probably a time to praise them. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to hearing from you, that type of thing. Okay, so I'm going to go down farther on this screen, and this is how you activate. Now let me go back to let me go back here. No, I want to go back to Edge. Okay, so I'm back here in this back office again. And so now see here where it says Healy device. So I'm going to go back one. Let me see if our connection is strong enough. It'll take me back to her home page. Perfect. Okay, see, I'm in Edge right now, Microsoft Edge, and it just seems like it's so easy to maneuver. The links seem a lot stronger. Okay, so here down, see where it says Healy device. So here's your back office, you get into it, and then here's Healy device. So when you click on that, activate your Healy. So if you get your Healy and it says Healy not activated, guess what? You can go in and you can do it yourself. Sometimes I would say probably about 60 to 70% of the time it works. There are times where they literally have not, you know, they scanned your box, but they didn't do anything in the back office part, and there isn't anything you can do on your end. A lot of times though, it's just a glitch in the system. They've already got it activated for some reason. The pieces aren't connected. So this is where you would click activate your Healy. Let's see if this link is strong. Okay, and then it gives you two options. Okay, so when we get our Healy, let me see if I can find. When we get our Healy, we get a packing slip that comes in our box. Okay, save it. Save this packing slip because it has really pertinent information on it. Just staple it to an order form or staple it to a piece of paper that you put in a Healy file. Put it in your Healy box if you're saving your Healy box, but just, you know, and it's a sticker, so you can pull it off and you can even put it, you know, on a folder somewhere or something, but just save that because that's really important information, especially in the Pioneer program when you're getting free devices. I don't know if you've noticed, but all of your free devices in the back office do not have an order number attached to them. They have an internal order number with Healy, but it doesn't ever get put in your back office under your my device, let's see, my Healy device, my the shop, my orders. When you go to my shop and then click on orders, your free devices and your upgrades don't necessarily have an order number in our back office attached to it for us to reference. We have serial numbers of the new, but we do not necessarily have the order number, but your packing slip has your order number on it. Okay, so tell people to save their packing limit. And I've not seen yet where they've shipped 2 Healys in one box, ever. I only see one shipping box per Healy shipped, which means there should be a packing slip in each one. I'm going to tell you a little story on this. Is I had a gal order a residence, and then for her 3 kids, set up a business centers and order holistic health at the sale rate so that she could end up with a free unit. Perfectly legal, great, love it, did it myself, love it. Well, I got orders and have to do that, but I've helped people do that. So all 3 boxes came about the same time, and she just opened them up and then just stacked the boxes on top of each other, okay? Well, in the back office, you can't find anybody's serial number. So remember when we went to the orders just a little bit ago, it said order number, but it didn't say serial number. So in order for you to find out what serial number was attached to that order number, you'd have to put in a service ticket. So here she comes with all 3. One of them was a Holistic Health Plus, the other 2 were Holistic Healths. And we had to find out which one. So we had to basically go into the pink dot and find out which one had the more programs, because she didn't know which one belonged to any of them. And luckily they were all her kids. So it really didn't matter, because if something happened to one of them, warranty issue, then she could always put in a service ticket saying, I have a child that I ordered a Healy for, and it says serial number this on the box. Could you please tell me who it belongs to, so that they could put in a ticket? So again, it just makes more work trying to find. So this isn't this one, but if you get your Healy box and you have a packing slip, put this in the box, tape it on the back, whatever you need to, so that you have this wonderful information at the top, which is the order number. It's the internal order number. I'll show you right now why that's important. If you click A, you need to go to, this one is, it's interesting because this one must have been prior to what they're doing now, HUSD. So I don't even have that list, but you would pick one of them, you know, and then you would put your invoice number, which is listed. This is the order number. So the order number is this one here. So I would put that in here, and then the serial number of the device. Okay, so with this right here, I could put in a service ticket for this Healy right now if I needed to activate it. Okay, not put in a service ticket, if I needed to activate it. This one is a little bit easier because it's just the shop order number. So literally it's just the numbers after the H. This one is like 043399. So that's what I would put in here. And then again, I would put the serial number. Okay. So I've had a lot of people, not a lot, several people who have called me and said, I need to activate my Healy, but I don't know where to find my order number. And it was on a free unit. They got their free device, and it said your Healy is not activated. And now that we can activate it in the back, but they didn't have either one of these information, the invoice number or the shop order number. So that's why I wanted to point this out. It's really, really important for those of you who are on the call who might be getting free units that are part of the Pioneer program and getting free units, to just remember to save this. Don't throw this out with a box. This is just really important information we need to keep. Okay, any questions on that? Is there anybody that's having issues with that or issues with activation? This is a really quiet call tonight, you guys. Okay, let's go back to my Word.
Maria, I have a question.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is back on the support tickets. I did exactly what you said to do and followed it.
Okay.
And of course, their first answer back to me was, has she gone in and updated? And of course, I had done 10 things. And then it took another 2 weeks to answer me because, put me in a different queue. So should we also tell them what we've tried already?
If you have enough characters, yes. If you have enough characters remaining in that 500 character thing, put what I've done. You can also attach. Let me go back here to.
But do they look at the file when you attach it? Because I tried that.
Did you attach a file?
I did attach a file.
What did it say?
It was just my Word document. Here's what I've done so far. Boom, 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 boom. And
and they didn't read it. Okay.
Read it.
So, okay. So what you could put in there let me see if it'll go here. What you could put in there, what I have done is I have tried all of the fixes that my upline, Doc Steve, Frank Dial have recommended,
okay.
So that they know. Because when somebody calls me, I kind of feel like, because I'm having to ask those basic questions, people feel like I'm questioning their intelligence. And I've had to tell people that I'm not questioning your intelligence. You've just called me. And so I need to be a sleuth finder because I don't know what you've done in your world. If somebody called and said, I have done every single thing that someone has told me to do and it hasn't worked, what my answer is going to be, I'm not a tech person and I'm not a tech person for Healy. And I would put in a service ticket at that point. But they're going to have to be sleuth slayers too, to just try to find out what you've done. So if you could put that in. So have you done that and they haven't answered again yet?
Well, I have escalated it through another avenue, but we'll see. I mean, it's time for this to be fixed. So I also sent it to you the other day and you said put in another customer service ticket. So
and then if you put in another one, and you want it to be addressed, but the other one then is moot because you're covering in the new one, go in and close it. Once you've opened one, then close it.
Yes.
Because I know that our service center is still burdened, or else we would have 24-hour support already, or we'd have phone lines that were active. Because we don't, just shows me.
Are these tickets going to Germany or are these tickets going to Orlando?
Well, I'm not sure. I think some of them are going to Germany because sometimes I've had people get it back in German and they've had to translate it.
Okay.
So I think it's both. But remember, we are the majority of their business right now. America is just booming. So, but I know that's why we don't have an active customer service line or online chat or whatever, because they're still just inundated with service tickets. But I also know that there's a lot of people who have put in a service ticket every week and haven't closed out their old ones. So what is that doing to the whole system? Just burdening it more.
Yeah.
So if you're going to put in a new ticket and you've already put one in similar, and this new one is, and you haven't been replying to, or, having any back and forth with that other one, then I would make sure that, you close it out. If you've gone back and forth with that person, you might be better off just sticking with that one. And if you've put in a service ticket, respond quickly, because that's up in their queue right then. If they respond and then you haven't checked your email or just haven't gotten to it or didn't see it, whatever, for, enough time has gone by, guess what? You're down in their queue now.
Of course, yeah.
And that might have been what happened with you, Marilee. I'm not sure how quickly.
No, I check my email about 50 times a day. So
okay. So you got on it right away, but it just took that person that long to get to it.
3 weeks.
That's just too long. So sorry. Yeah. Okay, so you have submitted a new one and closed out the other ones then?
Yes.
Okay.
We can go on. I know. Yeah, we can go on. I don't want to take up that much time.
Okay, so if you did have a Word document like Marilee did, and she did her due diligence by saying, look at, these are the things I've done. It's unfortunate that they didn't open the file. Maybe they didn't see it, whatever, but you can choose a file from your computer and download it here or upload it so that it's visible to them. And or if you need to take a screenshot of something, you could upload that to them so they can see what you're talking about. Okay. All right. So any more questions then on the activation part? Has anybody tried that and it worked? Tried that and it didn't work? Then we need to talk about it. Okay. All right. Well, that's kind of what I wanted to show tonight, was putting in a service ticket, the format that it needs to go in, and then how to activate your Healy. Both Gwen and I have been getting, questions about that. So I wanted to make sure that we covered that. Okay, let's look here real quick. Okay, I'm looking in the chat here. Do you know when the program descriptions will become available for the bioenergetic revitalization subscription? No, I have all of that on my, I have the revitalization, and for the last 3 weeks I've been saying I'll get to it next week, I'll get to it next week, I'll get to it next week. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to do a Zoom by myself and go over the details that I know and that I have and put it up on our YouTube channel, because next week we really want to go over the Pink Dot app. So I will try to do that this week or this weekend and get what I know about it, but I have not seen anything more than what you've seen in the back office. Does ATP increase our cells increase in our cells when using the Healy Pink Dot without the bracelets or sticky pads? Thank you. Okay, so ATP can be activated by a lot of things. So yes, but I believe that the direct stimulation of electricity running through every cell at an optimum level does it faster. I think it does it more efficiently and more faster. And I believe that's why we have cables. These amazing minds that put this together, Whitman and Marcus, so Martin and Marcus, and all of the people that have been using Time Weaver over all these years have used application to the body too, to get those vibrations into the cells. So if they felt that it was not necessary to have the bracelets and the electrodes at first, I don't think they would have done it. And I just believe that they're moving to the coil, which I think is great, because I think it amplifies everything that people need who aren't using the cables. I will still use the cables. I love the idea of the coil, but I'm also a tangible person. I like the tangibility of saying, this is directly getting into my body right now. But that's not to say that it's not working the other way, because we know how homeopathic resonances work. We know how resonant vibration works, and it does. It transmutes down into the physical. I just feel like they put it together that way so that you would have the best of all worlds. So that's just my opinion. I don't have any science to back that theory that putting electricity through the cells does better than having it be in our resonant field. I just feel like they would have done it differently from the start if they felt like that was enough. So to me, that's enough to say, yeah, I think it does a little bit more. Also with that ATP increase, what I was doing in the very beginning, because I love TENS units and I love the feeling of that, is I was turning it up pretty high, or at least to a tolerable level, because I loved it. And then the more I researched frequency modulation and that process, TENS units activate nerves to activate muscles to bring blood flow to the tissue. That's why a lot of chiropractors or physical therapists use them, because it can activate the tissue and allow for greater responsive healing. Blood flow in, out, and everything works better. Microcurrent is different. Microcurrent is changing how the cells respond to each other, and it's changing the current flow of the whole system so that everything speaks better. So it's a very different application than a TENS unit. And so, whereas a lot of us like that feeling of that tingling, what we have to remember is that because we are introducing a different application in this microcurrent is that the less we feel, the better. So I know it's hard when you put somebody on the electrodes or the wristbands, they're like, I don't feel anything. You kind of have to just go, just need to trust. You need to trust that it's doing something, and you need to look at the results down the road. And, but what I did do is research microcurrent and found that the lowest level of application is actually the most beneficial. So when you have a microcurrent that's stimulating the tissue at that point, wherever you have the wristbands, the electrodes, if there's agitation in the cell there, the body puts up resistance, and therefore you don't get the same amount of ATP increase as you would if it's just a really nice delivery without agitation. So what I've gone back to is just doing everything more lightly and not allowing it to get to a place where it's like, oh, that feels really good, because I love that. I try to come back to that place. Okay, so that's the ATP. This is cute. So a really dumb question, since I feel I've become troubleshooting queen. But if it won't turn on after being charged, it's dead on arrival, right? If it won't turn on after being charged. Mary, is that after the hard reset too? I wonder if Mary's still on the call. I would try the hard reset, and I heard on
Hi,
one of the
Maria.
calls.
I'm sorry. I was trying
no,
to find where.
Oh, that's okay.
There's a mute or unmute button.
Did you mute yourself again? Because you just went away. I think she muted herself again. Oh, she's like gone. It's almost like she clicked out. Okay, so
Maria,
we'll see if
can I ask the question?
Yes, you can, because Mary disappeared.
Okay. When I've had my Healy for about 2 weeks now, and whenever I got it, I just assumed, like any other device that needs to be recharged, that you use it during the day and you put it on the charger during the night. And then after about 12 days, I found out, I started experiencing where the Healy would not last even a full day. I mean, I'd start using it in the morning, and by 9 o'clock it would not work. And so I talked to my upline and found out that you're not supposed to be charging it every night. You're supposed to let it go, let it die all the way down.
Right.
And so, okay, so then I didn't charge it that night. I let it die down. It died down the next day. And so then I charged it up again, but that didn't do anything. I mean, it was still doing the same thing. Well, I talked to my upline today, and he said that when you charge it, you're only supposed to charge it. The booklet says like an hour and a half or something like that at the very beginning, or to 2 hours. But he had told me do it 3.5 hours to 4 at the very beginning, which it charged up at 3.5. But then now it's like on the recharge. Today he told me I should do it for like about 2.5 hours, something like that. But so anyway, that's where I am today. Is I'm gonna let it, run itself down, and then whenever it charges up again, I'll just do it for 2.5 hours. Is there anything more you need to add to that? Is that going to work? Is there something?
Let me tell you. Yeah, let me tell you what I do. And I've been able to get my Healys to where they're down to 4 and 2% before, but it's basically training the battery in your Healy. So what I do when I find that at 36% or 49% or 23%, all of a sudden I'm like, I know I've got charge in there, but it's done. So this is what I do is I go ahead and put it on the charger, and I let it charge until the light will come on. The green light comes on when you plug it in. And then as soon as the green light comes off, then I will take it off the charger. If I'm going to go to bed and my Healy is not completely charged yet, I unplug it. I don't just let it run and run and run and charge all night. I unplug it and then I'll plug it back in the morning until it's fully charged to whatever it needs to be at. Okay. So now I know that I've given ample charge, but not over or under charged it. I'm just giving it the green light came on, the green light goes off. It's fully charged. And typically when I go back in, it says 100% or 99%. Okay. So then
Yeah,
let's
that's
say that, then let's say that I'm getting down to where that places where all of a sudden it kicks you out like 36% or 49%. You go, okay, well, I'm probably at the end of my battery life or whatever. This is what I do. And this is what has worked for me every single time is I will go ahead and on that last program that I decide to run prior to me thinking, okay, this might be the last program. I look at the top and I see how many minutes is this program. Let's say this program is 55 minutes. Oh, you can't see my screen. Sorry. Let's say it's 55 minutes. Let me see if I can change the setting on this so you can see it. Now we know that because there are going to be some hertz frequencies in that program that our body's going to be fine with. And so the Healy will jump over those to the next ones. It may mean that you're not on that program for a full 55 minutes. Can we all agree on that? That sometimes it's 52 minutes, or sometimes it's 49 minutes, or sometimes it's 54 minutes. All of a sudden it's like it ends prior to what the designated time said. And that's why, because we just have some of those. Let me see if I can show you my screen now. So this is my timer. This is just my stopwatch. So what I'll do is I will find out what the program is. And if it's 55 minutes, what I might do is I might go to 50 minutes on my timer. And then I have my Healy running, but I don't want the Bluetooth connected to it anymore because I don't want to run the battery faster, right? So I will hard swipe my Pink Dot app closed on my phone. Now my Healy's just running, but now I have a timer that's going to end hopefully a couple of minutes prior to the end of that program. Okay, so I don't want the Healy to shut all the way off. Now, there are going to be times where the Healy in the middle of that program says, I'm done. And it's you look at your Healy and like, oh, it's only been 20 minutes and my battery went off. Okay, well, you're going to need to start that process over again. But what's happened to me is my timer will go off. I'll grab my Healy and it's still running and I'll get into my phone. So my Healy's still on. I go back into my Pink Dot and I click out of that program and start it again or start a new one again right away without allowing my Healy to turn off. So my Healy's still blinking the green dot and I'm back in my phone and I'm picking another program to run. And then I look at the time. And if it's 46 minutes, I'm going to set my timer for 40 minutes. So I'm going to swipe the app closed. I'm going to let that program run. When my timer goes off, I go right back into my phone and I stop that app before it's done. I'm not waiting for it to be done. I'm like, I just want the Healy to constantly be in motion for an extended period of time. Doc Steve once explained it like this. If you're on your phone and you're talking, and you could be talking and it's 3% or 1%, and you're still getting a signal and you're still communicating. But the minute you turn off your phone and end that phone call, there's no way you can redial because you don't have enough power. That's kind of the same with the Healy, he said. He said that if you can keep the Healy running, it's much easier to have it run farther than if you let it turn off after each program and reinstigate it. So I've been able to get my Healy down to 2% before, where all of a sudden it was like, okay, we're done. And then I went ahead and plugged it in. It took the same amount of time to charge it. But then I noticed that my Healy wasn't shutting down at 49% anymore, or 36% anymore. It was going all the way down below 10% and allowing me to run programs. So it really is about training the Healy. So what happened when you were using the Healy during the day and plugging in it at night is you were training the battery to have that much power.
Yeah, okay. I thought that if you remove the app from the phone or the tablet, that it would cause the program to stop. But I know that it is loaded up on here, but just the messages I kept getting, like at first, when I would run the program and I would walk away from my tablet with the Healy on me, with the program on it, I'd walk away and I'd come back to the tablet, I would just see nothing but the background color. And so I kept trying to figure out how to get out of the background color. and it kept asking me if I want to close the program. And I thought,
Yeah,
well,
and
I don't,
you don't want
I
to
thought
close.
if I close it here, it might close it on my Healy. So I would say no. And then I'd have to sit there and wait. And then I never knew if it was running or not running. And then so finally I would just go close the program. And a couple of times I saw that it was still pulsating, and it appeared whenever I closed it or said to close, it did appear. And so it looked like it was still running. And then other times I'd close it and it'd just go back to the menu.
Okay, so if it goes to the menu, then you don't have a program running. It stopped and it was done. So
So the app needs to be running when the Healy is running the program too.
okay, so let me go back. So I would put the program on, let's say chronic pain. I would put that on. It's a 20-minute program. So I might set my timer for 15 minutes. Okay. Now I'm not going to do anything except swipe my app closed. I'm not touching anything on that program screen at all. All I'm doing is swiping that app closed while it's running. What's that?
What does swiping really do? That doesn't close the app?
That closes the app on your phone, but it doesn't stop the Healy from running.
Oh, and that's okay.
In the pink dot, yeah. If you like right now, I don't have my app running and it's on, but I can turn it on and off and it's going to run that same program no matter what I'm doing with my phone. It just happens right now, I don't have my phone attached to my Healy right now. I'm running the pink dot.
Okay, well, that's very good advice.
Yeah, so just try that. Do you have an Apple or do you have an Android?
Android.
Okay, so if I go to, let me open up a few apps so you can see. Do you know how to swipe an app closed?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna click out of here.
I think I do. I mean, it's on the screen and I just take my finger
Okay,
and swipe.
so here's my screen. It's just my home screen, right? So if I click this bottom right, if I tap that, then it's gonna show me all of the apps that I have open, right?
Right.
So if one of them's Healy, I just tapped on it. Let me go back. If this one were Healy and I just swiped it closed, it's now closed.
Yeah.
It's now closed, but my Healy's going to still be running.
Right. Okay.
Right? Okay. Does that make sense? If you have an Apple, if you're listening and you have an Apple, then you're going to either have to angle or hard swipe up or double tap the home button to get to a place where you can see what apps are open. And then sometimes they're hidden. So you have to, on an Apple especially, they get hidden and you have to, I'm just going to, if I can see on my Android, they're all like in single file. So I can, slide back and forth. But sometimes in an Apple, they're all like stacked. And you have to, kind of scroll and then swipe up what you need. You can also Google how to close apps on your phone. Google is your friend. So if you don't know how to close an app on your phone, then you need to Google that. If what we just talked about didn't help. Mary, I see that you're back on. Would you like to jump on and tell us what you need?
Yes. Oh, you're so sweet. So, oh my God. Well, I'm laughing because of course my MacBook just shut down. I didn't realize I didn't have it charged. This is actually a customer, and I think I think it is the hard reset. He's got a very sick wife, which the Healy is definitely helping him. And, I'm wanting to get him on the phone. We've just not been able to. So I just messaged him after I got shut down. I went, okay, we're going to try this. And I don't mean to capitalize on this, but as long as I'm on air, I have 5 Healys, and I have had technical issues, and I've watched all the stuff. Like, I really do believe I've become very, very adept at troubleshooting. Of course, they're all Apple products, and I curse and I get frustrated because there seems to be many, many challenges with that. But I don't think one master key isn't going to work for all of them. Am I correct?
One master key. Well, how many resonances do you have? Are they all resonances?
Oh, yes.
And they're all on your account?
Yes. So I think yeah.
Well, if you ordered all of them though, only
yes.
only your free one will be associated with the device that got you the free one. Does that make sense? All of the other devices should have their own master key. They have their own, I mean, they're attached to your account though.
No, it's really frustrating. And Ken and I have, back and forth, we've had conversation. I think it's a bigger issue, in total, because every time I have an issue, I've then got to go, and I have lots of animals, and of course, I'm not a practitioner, but I'm always running programs for other people. And I
So do
think
you have
this
a,
is
do you have a different device for each one of those resonances so that you have that?
yes.
And so when you put your original master key on that second, third, fourth, and fifth device, does it open up that resonance?
No, it doesn't. So, and
And let me ask you, hang on, let me ask
Sure,
you this
yep,
then. When
yep.
you went to your second, third, and fourth device, whatever that was, did it say, would you like to download save your master key, or did it ask you to download your master key?
Well, I've tried both. And so if I try to, download the master key, one of the things that happens, and it's an Apple issue, is that it says, and I've done all the settings and everything too, because Ken and I were back and forth with this, where it says, it's an Apple pop-up. It says your iPhone does not allow you to save this master key. It's crazy. I don't know if anybody else has gotten this.
Wow, I've never heard of that.
Oh,
You're
of
not,
course.
your device doesn't even allow you to save it.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Okay. So I guess the big thing for me is when the first apparatus you're using with that new resonance, you've got the blue app, the Blue Dot app downloaded, and you've got this new Healy on. You press on and you open up that blue app. Then my big thing is it asking you to save the master key or to download the master, or upload, or whatever, download the master key? Because if it says save the master key, then there is a master key associated with just that serial number. If it says download the master key or find the master key, then it's that master key or that serial number is associated with another master key that you've already opened in another device. Those would be the two differentiating factors for me.
Yeah.
Because initially it says, would you like to save your master key?
Right. And then
Yep.
it won't. And so I'll go back. So I think there's probably a good amount of operator error on this, but it's the complexities of having more than one device and using the resonance functionality. I'm almost wondering if I almost need to set up another email address. And I love customer support. They're trying really hard, but it is very, very, very difficult to troubleshoot, via email. And bless their hearts, there's days when I just look at it and I go, I'm not going to respond because I'm really ticked off. So I just let it go. But yeah, I think a big chunk of the issue has to do with the operating system with the Apple.
Being a question and answer for tech issues.
Okay, so
Maria?
yeah.
Yeah, it's Joni. I have a couple maybe insights. One is, I believe at some point they changed from having a master key associated with only one device to one master key per account. And that's what Ken's always told me too. That's one thing. And the other thing with that thing showing up, that message showing up about, you can't do it from your device, permissions haven't been okayed. Ken thinks there's something that they changed because that the Healy used to automatically do that, right? And so now you're getting that message and somehow you can't really save your master key, but it lets you go ahead and use the program.
Oh,
and
exactly.
save
Exactly.
later.
It's saved and yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you can then save it later. So I don't know, it's just kind of a strange thing, but
It
you can
is. And you know what? Don't worry about me. How about this? I am happy as a clam to have one or two of them working. And then, I get pictures. I pop everything in. It is what it is. I love the Healy and so do my animals. So I'm good. One
Well,
of
and I
these days
have-
it'll get resolved.
Oh, and I have a couple of holistic healths that during the sale that I have in our little arsenal of loaners that I want to upgrade to the residents. Not necessarily to use the blue dot part, but it's $500 to get a holistic health plus, or it's $500 to get a resonance. So I'm going to probably just spend the 517, whatever. I think here in Greeley it comes to $530 to get 2 of those upgraded to the resonance, but I'll probably will still only use them as a holistic health plus, because when I send my loaners out, of course, I don't send them out with the blue app. So, but I haven't had those issues because I have a resonance on my phone. Stephen has a resonance on his phone, and everything else we have, even if it's resonance qualified, doesn't get sent out as a resonance. It's only, but if you've got a lot of different people that you're running, I can see the advantage to having different devices because you're vibrating in the blue app. So yeah, that sounds like that's going to have to be a little a tangled web that you'll have to unweave and let us know the end result. Okay, why do I get a blank screen in my blue dot when I go? A blank screen. So that's going to be a connection issue. And a lot of people are having connection issues. So it's not just you. I've told people to get in their car and go drive to a different place where they have take the Wi-Fi off your phone and just use your phone. Sometimes that helps. Removing all of the Bluetooth. I know that's someone here said they've done all of that. I think that was Dawn that said that. My Healy
Turning off auto sync.
turning off auto sync can help. There's a lot of fixes, and that's why I said I was going to try to go on here and find on the Telegram and the Facebook pages some of the fixes that they've listed, and there's a whole bunch of different fixes. And I know that every time Apple does an update, guess what? Healy has to do an update, and that changes it for everybody. So I would not want to be on their IT team right now having to do that, especially with everybody that's using different devices, Wi-Fi, and we're all trying to make it through this time where we don't have school and everybody's Zoom calling and all of that's happening. So it's just unfortunate right now that we have this amazing device that requires Bluetooth and some type of internet connection. Okay. Do you believe the higher? Okay, I'm just looking through all the chat. Is the fast start only when you buy your first Healy and sell in 30 days? During your 30 days, you can purchase anything, and anytime you sell 3 of something, you're going to get an upgrade. And so if you've purchased a resonance, so Marilee, I don't know if you have a resonance, but if you purchased a resonance and you sell 3 more Healys, doesn't matter which edition, if you sell 3 more Healys in those 30 days, you're going to get a free device. Your fast start begins the moment you sign up. So it's not the minute you buy, because you could be signed up for a full month and then buy. Your fast start starts the day you become a Healy member. And that's why it's so important that we tell people that we're signing up to show them how to get into their back office or go to ATP 123 and start here, because literally the second thing is your 30-day fast start. This is what you need to know. Actually, we need to tell people that prior to purchasing. Let me show you what the 30-day fast start looks like, because if you have somebody buy a holistic health plus, because that's what's in their budget, and they sell 3 and they get the upgrade, that's fine. But what if they didn't know that they could get a free unit if they had just bumped up another amount to get to, especially now with the sale, to get to the resonance level? And then if they sold 3, they would get a free device. So I've had that happen where the person was not informed that if they would have purchased a resonance from the very beginning, they would have got another device for their husband. And they were very upset with me because I didn't give them the fast start information prior to. So I learned that very early on, that when I sign somebody up, they know exactly what the 30-day fast start is before they even purchase, because I want them to know what the ramifications are, because they're going to love their Healy, and chances are they're going to tell people about it. Chances are they're going to get sales. And if they've purchased a resonance first, they can get a free unit. Whereas if they bought a gold because they thought that was their budget, they were only going to get upgrades. So that fast start starts the day you sign up.
Maria, when you put your ring on the Healy, are you
Uh-huh.
saying that you could put the Healy close to water or close to a ring or any kind of object, and it would absorb the frequencies and then emit those frequencies when you drink
Yep.
the water or wear the ring or whatever?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you could, if you have a tincture that you want to put circulation in or anything like that, you can do that in the Blue Dot app. And then you can deliver it to yourself through vibration. Or I could do the same thing if I wanted to. And I've shown this before where I've got the little clips that I just got on Amazon. I do not have them listed on ATP 123, but they're easy to find. They're just these little clips that have the snap button that just snap onto your cables. And then you could put this onto, you could put your cables onto, some people have used a stainless steel skillet and they clip it on there, and then they can run the pink dot with the cables connected to something with whatever they want inside or on top of that metal, and it will reverberate up into that piece of jewelry, the tincture, your bottled water, whatever that is you want. So yes, that is.
I can't see you on the screen, so I'm new to Zoom, and I have the pictures of these beautiful people, but I don't have you, and so I didn't see what you were doing to get that.
I will just stop sharing. Let's do this. Anyway, so here, let me show you the clip again in case you can see me better. So there is the little clips that you would just,
Okay,
it's got the little snap button.
Yeah.
Can you see that better now?
Yes.
Okay, good. And so I've got 2 of those, and you could click them onto your cable. So you've got your Healy running, let's say on heart chakra, right? You just have it in the pink dot, you're running heart chakra, and then you have your cables to your clips. You have your clips connected to a piece of jewelry, or you have your clips connected to, like I have a stainless steel plate. Some people have bought a little stainless steel skillet that they just clip it to. And then now that whole skillet is vibrating heart chakra. Well, now you can put anything in there. You can put your rings, you can put the pen that you write with every day, you can put anything in that skillet and be vibrating to that item. And then when you're using it, whether it's water, drinking, whatever, you're getting that frequency. Does that help?
Yes. The clips,
Okay.
are they just any metal clip?
Well, I got these on Amazon. You bet.
Well, you
Email
know
me
what?
if you can't find it, and I'll try to get you the link.
At the
Okay.
Gwen&Maria 2020?
2020 at Gmail. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me move my screen so I make sure I'm in front of that. So who was that just said? Jennifer, if you can see me, here is the clip. And then it has, see how it has the little button snap on there? And then I just take my cable and I'm just snapping it on there. So now I have a little snap that I can click to an earring or a ring or a plate or a skillet or whatever to vibrate those into everything else. So the cool thing about this is you can get really specific. If you've got somebody with pancreatitis, you don't have to send all of bioenergetics 1 in the blue dot to them. You can literally go into the pink dot, and then you can go ahead and vibrate that particular pancreas, from the pink dot in the bioenergetics category, that specifically to a tincture or a bottle of water or something that you're going to give them, or a piece of metal that metal holds frequency. So I use washers, and I don't have one here. I was just looking for a washer. I don't have one, literally a metal washer that you get from the hardware store. I have a box in the other room in my treatment center that literally it's just a washer, and I will take a magnet and I'll demagnetize it, and then I'll clip the Healy clips to it. And now they can get heart chakra specific, not all the chakras, heart chakra. Now they can get liver specific. They don't have to run the entire bioenergetics, in the blue dot to get just liver. They can actually get something really specific. So I think the pink dot, vibrating something into the pink dot that's tangible and the person can hold or ingest, I think can be even more powerful because it's more specific to what they need. And then can you do other things? Absolutely. So let's say you've got somebody who has kidney and liver issues. Well, you run you put kidney on the pink dot and you're running it, and then you do liver. You've got 2 hours worth of really, really good information in that tincture bottle or in your water bottle that you're sending them, or in a piece of jewelry, or in a washer. You've got, you know, a lot of different options. Okay.
What kind of washer are you talking about? Like a rubber washer that you put in
Nope.
like a hose?
Metal, because metal and liquid carry frequency for a long time. Literally, it's just a metal washer, about the size, a little bit smaller than a quarter. And then here's my telescoping $4.99 or $6.99 from Walmart. That's got a really strong magnet. So before I give it to anybody, all I'm doing is I'm just rubbing that washer with this magnet to get it cleaned off of whatever frequencies might be on there. Now it should be nice and clean. And then I can go ahead and take my clip, which I put back in my shirt somewhere. And then I can just clip that to it. And now it can get all the frequencies that it needs. And then I can send that in the mail. I can give it to the person. They can just wear it in their pocket, put it on a chain, whatever they need to do.
What is that demagnetizer tool called?
This magnet, it's a telescoping, it's in the automotive section usually of like Walmart or Rite Aid or whatever. It's just telescoping. So this is actually a telescoping one for mechanics, because they can, if they drop a tool or a screw or a bolt or whatever down in the engine, they can go down and get it. So, but I found that this particular magnet is really, really strong. So.
And where do you get that kind of a magnet? Again, in auto parts?
Yeah, I got it. You can go to auto parts store, just Walmart, just go. Yeah, I mean, you can get any, magnet. Gwen uses those round oval black. They almost look like a, I don't know, they're kind of like a obsidian, a black. You can get those at like the dollar store, even in the kids section, because they're kind of a fun toy. They kind of, so she uses those magnets to clear. This one, I just find it, I never lose it in my drawer. So.
And as far as the washers, you just can get those at like in an automotive part place?
I just go to the hardware store, and usually I take my magnet with me because I want to make sure I'm getting something that can be demagnetized. So I usually have my magnet with me, and I go into the hardware store and I go in and I find whatever size I want. And then I usually buy a box of washers because I use them up that much. But you can buy 10 at a time. You can buy one at a time.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Maria, if you send a washer or something like that, would they just use that for a short time or keep it in their pocket forever? Are you finding anything in particular about that?
Yeah, unless there is a high amount of magnetism that surrounds that metal, it won't clear it. That whatever you put in it will stay. That's why I always clear it with one of those heavy mechanics, magnets that they use to pick up all their stuff, to go ahead and eliminate any resonance that's on that metal before I even start, because I don't know what that piece of metal has been around and what energy it's been around. So I always demagnetize it first before I even start to put another frequency in for someone else. So I told the story in the advanced workshop that I had a gal who, this was about 5 or 6 now, probably 7 or 8 years ago, that I had my ohms machine and I clipped, she's a spectrum. So I clipped autism, the code for autism, and I made a washer for her. I did my little clips and I made that, and she could actually hear it. I mean, she said, I can hear this. And I said, you can hear that sound? And she was like, you can't? I'm like, no, honey, I can't hear that sound. She came back about 4 years later. She was interviewing in an upstairs office and happened to see that I had moved my office to here. And she came in and she goes, hey, I just wanted to tell you that I found my washer in my jewelry box and I can still hear it. And I was like, that is awesome. She goes, I thought you'd want to know that. And I'm like, thank you for that. But metal and liquid carry frequency for a very, very long time. So what I typically tell people with the washer is to use it as a homeopathic remedy that they're just sort of carrying around. And if they ever feel discombobulated, if they ever feel like they're a little out of sorts, they may go ahead and take the washer out and put it aside, because it's like they're getting therapy all the time. And then some people come in and they go, okay, I want to redo my washer because I'm done with this, and then they'll recycle it. So, but it'll keep that frequency for a really long time. I had one gal that would label them. She had her washers on a paperclip, not a paperclip, safety pin. And then she had a little piece of paper on it that it was labeled. She took a piece of paper and wrote out what it was and then taped over it on the safety pin so that she knew what that washer was for. So if this was for digestion, she would know that if she was having some of her GERD issues or something show up, she would go grab it and she knew that that was what she was going to wear that day. So I've had a lot of people use their washers that way. I'm going to do an ohms. I'll do an ohms Zoom at some point so we can talk about ohms and that kind of thing, because I think that's really awesome to be able to use other pieces of equipment. It sounds like this AO is very similar to that. It'd be really neat to have devices like that around that you can get different frequencies into.
Maria,
Okay,
two questions about this. One is, do you put the clip on whatever it is that you are wanting to get the frequency, but do you leave it through the whole time that the program is running? And then when the program ends, then you take the clip off? And also, can you load up more than one program on the Healy at a time?
you cannot, you can only load one program onto the Healy at a time. The next time you go to load it, it overrides that previous one. So you can only load one Healy. So you can definitely do a lot with this. It's just it's such a powerful little tool. All of the stuff that's coming to us now, I had somebody that was thinking of returning it because they just couldn't figure it out. And he had a hip replacement and he had stents in his heart. So he was really fearful of using it. And then when I started talking about the resonant frequencies of how just having the Healy near you and having that be in your field can transmute down into the physical, and some of the things that I had seen change in a body because they did that, they decided to keep it. And one of my big things for having them keep it was, if we go to a place where we need to become our own physician 100%, we need to have all of these tools in our toolbox. We just do. We need to have everything that we can get our hands on right now to help us, help our family, and help our friends, so that we can stay healthy through whatever's coming. And this pandemic was just, even if it's a pandemic, whatever, there's just a lot of just things out there that are not healthy for the immune system, or not. Our immune system is a little bit more depleted because we are more depleted. So anything we can find to assist and be in our toolbox is going to be helpful. And so that's if you become one of those people that buy all the tools, you buy all of the cool things that are out there so that you can have them in your toolbox, then yeah, we should be looking at that. Could we demonstrate that sometime? Yeah, in the pink dot, actually, probably next week, we will demonstrate how you can take, we'll do that because you'll be able to see the screen on Gwen's phone and what we're running, and we can demonstrate that. And then I also have pictures that we can show. Can you load more than one? Can you load more than one program on the washer? Yes. If you have your ring, your bottled water, whatever, and let's say that you had somebody that, let's say you did a resonance scan and they needed concentration system from learning, and then they needed, what's the one from mental clarity, the unity, something like that. And let's say that those were their top two that they needed. And they're out of state, they don't have a Healy, and you can't vibrate those specific programs to them. So what you could do is go ahead and get your washer that you then put the concentration system in. So you've got your pink dot going and you've got your clip on the washer and you're doing concentration system through the entire program. You want all of those, you want all of them available. Okay. And then after that program's done, then you go back into your Healy programs and you click on mental balance, and you go to I think it's inner unity or unity. And you've got your washer on the same washer, and then you're running that current into there. So that washer now has all of that information. The nice part is that when the person wears it, you just warn them. If you feel a little discombobulated or a little overwhelmed, or, in a place where you're like, okay, I'm feeling like a little overwhelmed, just take the washer out and put it to the side, and your body will remind you when you need it back again. So I always tell people, just be cautious that first couple of days, because it's like you're sitting in my chair getting a treatment all day long. And that may not feel so great because you're just getting it all day long. So just be conscious and mindful of that.
How do you do a hard reset? I forgot.
Okay, so so what you do is you just press the button, you just press the center button and you hold it down until you just hold it down until the Healy comes on.
Does it have to be plugged into the battery? I mean, into the
Well,
wall?
they see right there, it came on. Okay, now I'm letting it go and it went off. So that is a hard reset. They do say in the manual that you should plug it in when you do that, but I'll tell you what, I've had it work both ways. So you just
Okay.
press that button and you keep depressing it and keep depressing it and keep depressing it. I think that was probably about maybe 6 to 8 seconds that I did it. And then the green light finally came on. And that was the hard reset.
I-
And then,
Can I
what's
ask
that?
one last question? Can I ask one last question?
Sure.
Is one dot better than the other? I know the blue one just vibrates for like what, a minute or something, but the pink one is longer. Like it's, it could be like 20 minutes or 50 minutes or whatever. How do you know which to use? Is one better than the other?
It's really personal preference. That's what it comes down to, is personal preference. I use the blue dot mostly to diagnose. That's to just get feedback on what that particular person needs or what I need. So I feel like the pink dot for me is better from a delivery standpoint. I just use the blue dot more as a diagnostic tool.
But what about for your own personal self? Do you use the pink or the blue if you've got an issue in your body, maybe a gum or tooth?
Pink. Pink.
Use pink.
I use
Okay.
pink, and I'm always connected to the electrodes. I put the electrodes on my shoulders every morning, and then the cables are attached, and then I have my Healy in my bra or on a necklace, and I wear it all day long, whether it's running or not, but it's there and it's ready to go. So when I'm reminded, I can grab my phone and put something on.
And is there a max number that you should do in a day or that you can't do? I mean, can you only run 2 programs or 5 programs, or?
They say 2 to 4. They say 2 to 4 programs.
Okay.
Is what they recommend, but people have done all kinds. It just, I mean, Ryan Connolly, he runs himself all day long. Gwen has done that. Gwen has worn the Healy all day long. She doesn't use the cables, but she's run the Healy all day long on her before, just different programs. It really is just, how does your body respond? How do you feel? And every single person is so different. That has to be a personal thing. But Healy recommends 2 to 4.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
You bet. You bet. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye.